I have to remember out a lot of things, Shimra, and I'll get them all done at once. Creative stream? You guys want to watch me update my site? Maybe when, maybe in like 4 hours when everyone's asleep. I can just play chill music. So we get 2 new abilities, huh? Alright. Oh yeah, I think they both suck, don't they? Yeah, they do. Snow BSB is a good relic. Leo BSB, blah. Braska super, blah. Lock super, blah. Hope super, blah. Plus fire damage staff. Well, that's a pretty damn good pull, Blyben. Congrats to your girlfriend. They do. They do. What ice samurais are in the game? There's just one. Ayame. And the crazy thing about ice samurai is they have this incredible ability called Hailstorm. She does not give any crap about either of these abilities. All right, so let's go into it. Warring Frost. So this is a Final Fantasy X event. Just aired in Japan like this week, last week. But anyway, it's the latest one. And we're going to go take a look at it for the distant preview. We get 2 new skills, samurai abilities. And, you know, you'd think this is a Final Fantasy X event with samurai abilities, so it must be 2 abilities that are meant to go with, you know, someone that's part of the event itself, which is Auron. The thing is, Auron's a fire samurai. Has nothing to do with ice whatsoever. So the fact that these 2 are ice abilities doesn't have, it just means that these have nothing to do with the event. And they don't really have anything to do with samurais at all. We're going to find out when Ayame gets her event coming up, whether or not she gets anything in that event that helps out with the usage of this. She might. It just, it's just weird to me that they would come out now instead of during Ayame's event. Even if Ayame's event isn't a real event, it's going to be a super boss release with a gacha pull. But I don't see why they couldn't have added these abilities into that event. There's no reason why they wouldn't be able to. So first ability, well, I mean, I don't have to go into them very deeply. They're just clones of current abilities that we have. One is 2 single target ice damage, self-retaliate, and the second ability is 4 single target ice physical and increase crit chance under retaliate. So it's a plus 50% crit chance if you have retaliate. So they're meant to be used together. Yeah, neither of these abilities have any place in the current game. But if Ayame gets a USB, maybe they do. Next up, we have... Seriously, that's it? There's nothing new. I find that hard to believe. Okay, well, this is going to be a short, distant preview. No new legend dives or anything like that? For all you Gilgamesh lovers out there, you know how these the fire abilities work well with Gilgamesh's USB allow him to do fire damage. Well, now Gilgamesh can be an Ice Samurai too. Yeah, LMR is not Legend Dive though. That's something I get to when I get to the banner itself. So, wait on that. Yeah, these are all Legend Dives we get in the next 10 event, aren't they? Not all. I think Seymour, we get that when we get his CSB. Okay, well, whatever. We'll just go over to the relic draws. Okay, first banner. Titus and Una banner. We haven't had one of those in a while. We get 2 Una relics and a single Titus relic and a Riku. Riku USB 2. Okay. First up, we have Titus's UOSB. Assault and Splash 20, single target range physical. Okay, so we've seen this UOSB before. It's definitely meant to be to build a chain and then to have one single OSB strike at the end. Since I don't really like this UOSB, but since Titus is a chain holder himself, I can accept it here. The fact that it is good for closing out his chain. So that's a good pickup on this banner. Next up, we have Yuna's USB. 10 single target, Holy Wind summon magic damage. Self-summon ability boost and X mode last summoner. So summon ability boost, I'm guessing, is 30%. Yes, this is Yuna's USB 2. Oh, that was great timing, Jimbo. I sneezed and actually got the mute button in time while you subbed. It was a sub sneeze. That's how happy I was. My jubilation caused me to sneeze. Yeah, I probably wouldn't use Setzer's USB either. It's unfortunate. It's fallen a long way. Bad DNA decisions. Alright, so I want to look at Yuna's USB 2 in detail. Overdrive Grand Summon. Well, that's a cool name that's going to get maimed when it comes to global. Summoning rank boost. So it's not a flat 30% like Alphino gets. I don't think Alphino's is a flat 30% either, so I think this is actually the same thing as Alphino's. You get a higher percentage increase in damage for the more hones you have. So summoning rank boost. Yeah, 30% more. And I'm almost positive this is the same thing an Alphino gets. So what else are we looking at? X mode final summoner. Magic plus 30%, cast Sonic Ray after dealing damage with a summoning ability. Smart after 2 and removed. Okay. So the first summon chase. .7 multiplier. That's unfortunately pretty weak. Trying to find some kind of parallel. Yeah, it is nice that the chase happens every time that she uses an ability rather than it being like auto judgment bolt 5.7 after, you know, every 3.5 seconds. It is nice that it's single enemy. But when you have stuff in the game like Renoa's Sub-Zero Calamity for an 8.52, you know, over 6 attacks. So there's not even a benefit of this being 5 attacks. Because there's just stronger chases in the game by a pretty large margin. Auto-destructive barrage. Well, it's auto. Yeah, that's, so that's similar, but it's auto. The 7.8 to the 7.7, this is Hopes. So it's the best summoning chase. Including the auto summons. It's just, it still lags behind some of the strongest stuff in the game. So let's look at the Soul Break itself. Summon ability boost. It's 30% damage. But that's in place of having like something like End Wind or something. Or End Holy. And you know, when I consider that Alphino gets End Wind and summon ability boost and gets a percentage chase, yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't think Yuna exceeds what Alphino is capable of. It's just Holy and Wind, I guess? Alphino's is Holy and Dark. Or Wind and Dark. Why did they underpower this? Why does Alphino get M Wind on his, while Yuna doesn't get any N element status? And the weapon itself is mind-based instead of magic-based? Yuna's a summoner, all summons are based on magic. Well, I think it's good. I think it's good. Just because it's not as good as Alphino doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just trying to compare it to like some of the other stuff that's currently in the game, like for doing Holy and Wind damage. The fact that there is not many Wind Mages means at least Yuna can do something for your team if you haven't gone in on like Fusion or Alphino. And she's also, you know, able to do stuff for Holy as well, which unfortunately still isn't a thing. Even with Minwoo, even with Rem, even with Arc, it's still rough to put together a Holy Magic team. At least this is Holy Magic and not Mind, so never mind those characters. You could pair Yuna up with Sid Reigns and probably do some pretty decent Holy damage. No, I'm sure there's worse, Marco. But just because there's worse doesn't mean it's any more usable than those, or any more usable than the worst things. So it's a pretty bad pull, Marco. I'm sorry. So this is a fine USB. It's just I expected more at this level of power creep, I guess. So third on the list we have Riku, USB 2, 10 single target, random, water non-elemental, and pearl water. Additionally cast Aqua Toxin when using water abilities. So we're gonna take a look at this on Enliers. Two single attacks, 35% chance to cause Imperil Water, 10% for 10 seconds. For a total multiplier of 1.2. And you must use a water attack. So she either needs a good BSB2, which she does get on this banner. Well, she gets a BSB2. I haven't determined whether or not I like it yet. Or Sapphire Shot. Riku cannot Wrath. Yeah, you know, this kind of USB worked good on Zidane because he has a trance mode that allows him to instant cast thief abilities, and that's good. Riku has no such way to take advantage of that unless she has a good BSB2. So, let's hope that that's good, because by itself, I don't care if it's USB at all. It's just junky Imperil Water. And lastly, we have Yuna's USB 1, which everybody by now knows that I don't care for. Just a slow Medica with some wasted effects. Yes, the next time Refuge USB shows up is on the End of Night banner. Okay, moving into the BSB... Or no, we don't move into the BSB section yet. We have a flash art on this banner, and that is Titus's flash art. 0 cast time and water, self and water stacking. Typical flash art, and it's good. I like them. I think they're usually worth what they take to cast, because... they increase the damage dealt by a Soul Break by 80%, but they only cost 50% of a Soul Break gauge. So it's a net gain as long as you've got the meter to get there where you're trying to go with somebody. So I like this. Titus is definitely the best part of this banner so far. He gets a UOSB that works together well with his chain. He gets a good flash art. Or flash tech. I don't know what we're gonna call it. Probably like, I don't know, fast bomb or something friggin' stupid and global. Okay, so next up we have Riku's BSB2. Water non-elemental range physical and water burst mode. Check out the commands. Flash Flood, 4 single target with short cast time. Well, that's not a dated command at all. 2 single target and enemy steal power. That is... that's not what I was looking for. For something to pair up with her USB. This is just... this is really, really... unfortunate. Riku was one of the cooler characters in the game at one point. Because of her gigantic ability pool. She just did so many things, and now just to see her get given mediocre stuff like this is unfortunate. So, she didn't get the BSB2 that she needed to turn her USB into something special. So that's unfortunate. It is a water-themed banner, at least. Other than Yuna. Next up, we have Pain's BSB2. Pain's Katana is a water damage up katana. Okay. 8 single target water, non-elemental physical, and water burst mode. Oh, it's one of these. It's fine. You know, self-spell blade damage 3. I think this is probably meant to be used with your USB or like Sid mission material. This is one of those like passable BSBs for just dealing water damage if you want to, you know, quad engulfing quad strike with her. But yeah, I mean, you're going to see these a lot. Just, you know, ability type damage increase and then use a 5-star ability with it. And it's just, you know, it's your new standard. And we're going to get that on the next one too. Sort of. Titus's is better than normal because 0 cast time entry, 10 single target, and not just 0 cast time entry, but also attack and defense plus 30% and insta-cast 1. So definitely better than your typical burst. This is actually a good burst soul break, even in the era of bad burst soul breaks. Self-shooter 3, so you can use this and then start using Sapphire Shot with it. So it's just better. Better than your typical burst soul break. And because it's insta-cast and provides a charge of insta-cast, it works together very well with other burst soul, or other soul breaks. Which Titus has many other good soul breaks. So this is actually a good pickup off the banner. Yuna's aged, but probably still pretty good BSB2. Magic and Minds and provides a Medica command. That's fine. I mean, I like using Aphmau's, and it's very, very, very similar to Yuna's, so that's fine. It's a plus holy armor for those who still care about that. So that's actually not a bad pickup if you don't have one of these. Lulu. This is kind of awesome. You know, with BSBs being as bad as they are, this is exactly the same situation we're having right now with Super Soul Breaks on the banner. Usually the best Super Soul Breaks on the banner are ones that give plus element on the armor that they're attached to. Well, BSBs serve this purpose on the banners in Japan right now. And what better than to take up a spot in the BSB section than with a piece of elemental armor, and rare elemental armor plus ice Lulu light armor. So that's actually kind of nice. Awful burst though, really just awful, straight up bad burst. So don't ever think of using the soul break itself, but the relic is good. Now we move into 4 legend materials. Yuna's Staff of Thorns. What are we looking at here? Small water damage up on 13, but that's not Yuna's. That's Titus's Arm Guard. Okay, so Staff of Thorns for Yuna. Low chance to dual cast summoning abilities. That's good. It's a 25% chance. Definitely good for her. Again, they give her a Mind Staff, though, for some reason. Yuna's Wedding Dress. Low chance to dual cast white magic abilities. Also good. Works really well with her BSB2. Dual casting that Medica command is definitely serves to protect yourself from the failings of the BSB2's lack of healing. A 25% definitely is no 35, but still should be good enough for most healing applications. So I like the LMRs. Titus's Arm Guard start with M Water. This is good. In any situation, especially when you consider his Flash Art gives him M Water stacking. So it's not like this would be wasted if you start the battle by life siphoning and then just getting the plus 80% damage output on a soul break. Now, using his Flash Art, you can create a stack with this, which will translate into quite a bit of damage when you're using soul breaks and abilities. And it's plus water bracer, so a good relic and good legend materia. And last up we have Riku's Warrior Targe, medium chance to self quick cast next turn with using machinist abilities. Doesn't make Riku good, unfortunately. Is it possible to half diver for healer buffs only? I don't know, let me take a look. It's pretty relevant, so let's take a look at it. So Legend Materia 1 is gotten here. No, you would have to go after... You'd have to go pretty deep to get the 6% white heals. You'd have to go pretty damn deep. Might as well just go all the way at that point, I guess. Only 3 spheres left. Yeah, the only water machinist abilities are found on her burst soul breaks, which both are not good. So Riku's bad legend dive is really, I think, the biggest factor in what hurts her the most. So how do we feel about this banner? Tidus is obviously, like, continues being an awesome character. Yuna's USB is okay. Riku's stuff is kind of a disease at this point. It pains me to say it. Yuna's USB is... So we got 2 hits here. But see, this stuff is all good. You know, there's a lot of bad stuff on this banner, but it's not awful. So whether to pull on this banner, because it's so water-themed around Tidus, is definitely going to... You know, 2 factors are going to play into it. How's your water damage output, and what do you have for Tidus? And does the things that you could pick up for Tidus here work with what you currently have for Tidus? Because I don't believe these things are meant to be used by themselves. If I'm going for Tidus's UOSB, I want his chain. If I'm going for Tidus's BSB2, I want his chain or his USB. If I want his flash tech, then I want something for Tidus. With just his USB, would I pull here? Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the 10 banner when I get to it. I'm probably gonna lose some friends when I talk about how bad that banner is, but I think this is a 10 banner. You know, there's just a lot of bad stuff going for it, and some of the stuff at the top, you know, makes you think otherwise. You can. I'm not going to go over it deeply, though, because that's something I will go over in a normal event preview. But can I get to the second banner first? Does anybody care? I mean, right off the bat, we have a better high end than the first banner. Seymour's USB. 10 single target, dark, non-elemental, and dark. Self-magic and resistance plus 30%. Additionally, cast Enraged Pursuit when using dark abilities. So... Overwhelming follow-up. Overwhelming follow-up is an 8.52, and you know what that means? That means this is a burst, or sorry, a USB with a chase that's determined by the hone level of the ability that you're using, which are the best chases in the game. The 8.52 is rivaled by none, or rivaled by plenty at 8.52, but exceeded by none. There we go. Yeah, it's just an awesome USB by itself. Probably the best. The best. Yeah. The best Darkness USB from ages. Next up, we have the Chain Soul Break for Seymour, which is the best kind, in my opinion. Grants Dark Chain and Party Quick Cast 2. Great. Great, great, great. So right off the bat, this is fantastic. Next up, we have more Darkness. Jekt with his Soul King, which I'm sure is just another Blitzball. Thank goodness. We need more of those, but it is a dark Blitzball. And Seymour CSB is a dark staff, so they are not realm locked, which is nice. So 10 single target dark non-elemental, self attack and defense plus 30%, critical 75%, quick cast 1, and gain, or so it has a quick cycle for using dark abilities, which is good. It's really good. I think how do I feel about this? The critical 75% is not as good as Endark. So Endark would be a plus 50% increase in damage when using abilities. So when you're adding critical, you're doing two things. One is you're increasing your damage output by half of the critical percentage. So what? 38%. That's obviously not as good as 50%. And another thing you're doing is you are making the highs higher, as well as the lows lower, which is bad in a game with damage caps, which this game is one of those games. So in any situation, I'll take Endark over this. It's still not bad, though, because of the high native multipliers of Darkness abilities. I think you get a 4.0 on Reaping Scythe. 511 DU, no disco. Oh, wait, 6. What'd you get? I'll take a look at the animations once we're through with this. No cast, but it's not really bad. Pain's BSB? Yeah, that's okay. Getting plus, element armor, a good plus water armor in a lucky draw it's not bad. It's plus water light armor, Spidey. Let's see. So Jekt's USB is a fairly decent USB, but I guess I put it on the same tier as Yuna's. It could be so much better. Maybe lower than Yuna's, because unfortunately this isn't a chase, and chases are better than the cycles as far as I'm concerned. Next up we have Pain's USB, 4 Stealer, 17 RS water damage. Oops, that stinks. 10 single target water non-elemental, M water, self attack and defense plus 30%, quick cast Spellblade abilities for a period of time. So that's quick cast Spellblade abilities, so that's even worse than this, because at least this will maintain the quick cast. Or the quick cast will apply to when for any soul break casts, while quick cast spellblade abilities will not. So, yeah. Neither of these are, I mean, clearly, neither of these are on the tier of the first two 6 stars, but they're not awful. They're just like A, B stuff. I'd probably put Jekt on A and Pain on B. Alright, so into the BSB section. We wade through the junk and see... Seymour's BSB 2, 8 single target, and dark burst mode. The 18 does count for minor dark resistance. Well, lightning is lightning damage and pain is water damage, so there isn't much overlap between the two, despite the fact that they use spell blades. Oh yeah, so Seymour gets the 6 single target Dark Elemental with large recoil damage. So he takes a lot of damage when he uses this command. What's the multiplier on it again? $13.2. You know, this would be worthy of something if he wasn't a dark mage. This 13.2 would actually be, you know, high enough to rival the chains. But Dark Zone has a 14.0 multiplier. And doesn't hurt you for 35% of your maximum HP. So I don't really care for this BSB. The second command sounds cool until you realize that it doesn't deal any damage. So you're just using it for the buffs, and you're wasting a turn on someone who should be a high damage dealer by not doing any damage at all. Yeah, I don't like this BSB. Jekt BSB. This is old stuff. This is old stuff. This is one of the old... it's just 4 generic hits and 2 generic hits. Yeah, that's awful. There's nothing good about this. It's not like Lulu's on the first banner, which is ice armor. There's nothing good about this. Oron's BSB 2 and fire. Pretty bad stuff. A useless first command and Dark Bargain on the second command. Dark Bargain's worth something, but yeah. Next up, Braska's High Summoner's Longstaff. This is small fire damage up staff. 8 single target, fire, lightning, non-elemental, and fire. So it's actually just a fire burst. Oh, great. So he can Stitch in Time himself, or Magic Bargain himself, by not dealing any damage the first turn. Yeah, I really love this stuff. And by doing that, he gives himself a 5-hit second command. What's the multiplier on it? Uh, 9.95. It's not even as good as Chain Faraga. This is one of the worst bursts. It just gets wrecked by the ability upgrade. Awful. Seymour's BSB 1. Instant KO. Wow. Okay, cool. Imperil Dark. Another chance of instant death. Wow, Seymour, you're great. He's really good for killing trash in Torment 200 and Torment 250s. Because at this point in the game, people are really going to care about that stuff. Low chance to slow, area of effect though. So this is just a really awful burst soul break as well. Was there any good burst soul breaks here? No, there was not. So this is This is really bad. We do have a plus fire staff in Braskas, but that's it. That's an awful burst section. Well, there's a big difference between Japan and us right now, Senbu, is they have the ability upgrade and we don't. So if you still use stuff that, you know, this change that I'm talking about hasn't hit global, so if you're still using this stuff and I speak ill of it, it's because I'm talking about the future. Braska's BSB is still useful right now because that has a 5-hit command. If Chain Faraga's locked to 2 hits, it's a pretty big upgrade. Legend Materia. Oh my god, that's a lot of footnotes. And only one of them applies. Small dark damage up on 25, which is Seymour's Mortar Rod. Low chance to double cast dark element abilities. That's good. That is good on a character like Seymour. Jecht Sparring Suite. Start battle with Undark. That's good on Jecht. That's damn good on Jecht. Because his USB does not provide Endark. It does provide another form of damage boost. So this is actually better on Jecht than it is, you know, on a lot of people that get this Legend Materia. Oron. Up to medium attack boost based on number of attacks received. That sucks. High Summoner's Helm for Braska. Start battle with End Fire. If you got his USB, that's fine, but his USB does not appear on this banner. Payne's Gunner's Guise. Up to medium attack up based on number of spell-related abilities used. That sucks. So I like these two. Whole burst section's bad. And the USB section's actually better than the first banner's USB section. Really, it's a war of the bad banners here between Titus and Seymour. Whichever one appeals to you more. It's going to depend on your situation. I kind of personally will see. Probably not. It's definitely a fringe possibility for me personally on the first banner. His UOSB, his BSB, and his LMR are all really good for me because I have his chain. All three of them work very well with his chain. Oh, Flash Art as well. Works very well with his chain. So we'll see if I can find some other value from this banner to make this worth going for. Otherwise, it's probably just going to be sticking to going for Titus things on festivals. Dark Zone Lemonade. So anyway, we're going to go take a look at animations. Shattered Dark Zone? All right. Okay, so Seymour. I don't know what this is. I'm just going to go down the list. We got 3 new soul breaks for Seymour. This is his chain. That sucked. It had such a good start. I don't think so, Strider. It's just poison. Bad poison damage with some status effects, I think. Alright, Seymour's BSB2. The entry was boring. Command 1 was cool. Just the Command 1's too weak to be usable. Alright, Seymour USB. Please be good. Why do you have boring entries? Because Seymour's a boring villain. That's... There you go. Guess it all makes sense. Like... No. Do you have a cool chase? Not really. No. Seymour. God. Ah, they mailed in Seymour, didn't they? So this is BSB2. We already looked at BSB2. This is his UOSB, right? This is awesome. It's great. It reminds me very much of his Chainsaw Break, but his Chainsaw Break's one of the best animations in the game, so it ain't broke. You know, I should probably skip these in the future. Flash text. Eh. There you go. instantly gives himself M water and N water stacking. That's it. Wow, they really just reskinned her USB 1 for the USB 2 staff. Uh-oh. This is dangerous, guys. Does Japan not like Yuna or something? I feel like Yuna's a popular character. What are they doing? And thank you, Strider. Thank you very much.
One more time.
Good start. Great. Love that animation. That was nice and quick. Oh, great chase. Great chase. At least they gave her good animations. Riku USB 2. Another good animation. It's tough to do much with it, I suppose, when you're only given 2 hits. Riku's BSB 2. I see a Titus and a Wako. I have no idea what was going on there. It's kind of neat. Honestly, I kind of like it. Yeah. I don't know, I can get behind that. I'd never use it. Because I'm pretty sure I have Yuffie's Bristle Break, which is just better than this. But, hey. Alright, and that's it. So let's go take a look at